Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. We're George and Martha.
Hello.
Today we're recapping Stranger Things Season 3. And we're up to Chapter 3, The Case of the Missing Lifeguard. That poor girl.
Oh, I know. Oh.
I thought it was going to be The Case of the Magnets. So, Elle is putting her powers to good use, spying on Mike and the boys to find out what they're talking about. And it's actually very funny.
It is.
The boys are acting like they are drunk in college. Dude, what did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
Like they're drunk, but they're just eating chips.
Yeah, for dinner. Doritos for dinner.
It's really funny. And then they're talking about how girls are another species. And then Max is like, Elle, what are they saying? We are the other species.
Yeah.
Emotion, not logic.
Yeah.
That was cute. Then Elle's powers take a decidedly dark turn. They play spin the bottle to pick who they're going to spy on. And they land on Billy. Well, first they land on Mr. Wheeler. And Max is like, oh, boring, spin it again. And I was like, isn't that against the rules? We make our own rules. Make our own rules. I love those little moments she has where she's like learning things. And when she goes to spy on Billy, she sees him offering up the lifeguard to the Blob.
Does she even see that? Or does she just hear it?
She sees something. He's on the floor with a girl.
And then he turns.
There's a really quick scene where Will wakes everyone up. And I think this will come into play later.
Yeah, it has.
That they're not paying attention and Will is the one up first going, time to listen to Will the Wise. And it was really quick, but I think that will come into play.
And they were giving him shit. It has to come into play.
Definitely. Well, Hop is not happy about having been stood up. And Joyce shows up. No comment about standing him up. No phone call.
And he's also incredibly hungover.
He's drinking milk out of the carton. He's just, wicked hangover. And then she
shows up with her magnets.
Just no explanation. Crawls up to the fridge and is like, Hop. And he's like, okay. And so she goes on and on about her theory that there's a giant thing sucking the magnetic force. I don't even understand it, but he starts messing with her and he's like, you know what? I get it now. She's like, we have to go back to the lab tonight. He's like, we do? Tonight? Yeah, we're going to go back. Tonight. And he's like, okay. Meet me there at 7.
Yeah. One of us won't be there.
And then he goes behind his curtain and he's ranting and raving. We should just move on from all the stuff that happened. Right, Joyce? Right, Joyce? And then she runs out of his shed with his tools. Okay.
And he probably is going to join her on her crusade.
I'm sure he will, grudgingly. Grumpy, angry Hop. We'll deal with it.
I love you, David Harbour.
He's really good.
He is.
So Elle and Max are going to look for Billy because Elle is really worried about what she saw. And Max is like, no, it's just really weird when a guy's with a girl and, they're doing that. And
happy scream.
Yeah, they make, they scream, but it's happy screams. And I was like, happy screams? She's like, I'll give you my mom's Cosmo. Happy screams.
And Elle is really coming into her own in the fashion department with her mom jeans. I like that touch. They were mom jeans, right? I mean, you wouldn't call them mom jeans.
No, but that's that. Well, I guess they became known as mom jeans because your mom wore them in the 1980s.
Yes, duh. Mm-hmm. You're like putting me on the spot.
No, I just thought of that. So they go looking for Billy and they find he's not there. His car's not there. And the bathtub is filled with ice and
Was
water.
ice, yes.
Melted
You just
ice
said water.
packs. What?
Water?
Water.
Oh, I thought I heard you say water. Okay, continue.
Maybe I did. And then they find a bloody lifeguard whistle.
Oh. So he killed the lifeguard, right? He had to have.
But we see her alive.
During her.
I don't know if it's some weird thing like, remember they used to do those weird baths for Elle?
That's right,
The
yeah.
sensory thing. So
Yeah.
maybe like his way of taking the girl, like we see them driving to the steel factory, but maybe he submerged her to see him psychically.
Yes.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. I could be wrong. She could be dead.
She could be dead.
Nancy, I think, went way too early with her story.
Oh, I
would've
know. What the
fucking
fuck was that? That
held
pissed me
on
off.
to that. She goes to the reporters. She goes to the editor with her story. And, of course, they're laughing at her. Some story, Nancy Drew.
And did you notice Donald Trump?
There's the guy that's the most misogynistic to her has a fake tan.
And a hideous head of hair, blonde,
Weird
bleached,
blonde hair, the white circles around the eyes.
in a mug that says presidential on it.
Little subtle
You know,
digs.
sometimes I get annoyed with, when things are politicized and I feel like things are being thrown in my face about
But that wasn't
this works.
thrown.
No, this works. This entire show with the Russia, I can see Russia from my house. Forgot about that. I like that they're just shitting all over Donald and his administration.
I don't think they are shitting all over Donald. I think there are really subtle things. Like, I think most people would never have noticed the presidential mug.
Oh, well, in that case, but like the protesters and...
I don't even think all of that is necessarily Donald related. We've always had presidents that people didn't like.
And did you see at one point there was Reagan hanging on the wall?
Yeah, I think that's more the point. We're
He was
in
a
the
winner.
80s, and Donald has stolen a lot from Reagan and Nixon, and history just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. I don't take it as they just took this opportunity to shit on Donald Trump.
Maybe that's why it worked.
They're
Maybe
making allusions to him because it works. It fits. At the mall, Robin is translating Russian with her Walkman, and Dustin and Steve are looking for Russians in the mall. And then they start getting into it with each other. Again, their little bromance is very adorable.
And they have such good chemistry.
They do have good chemistry. And Dustin starts needling Steve about Robin. Like, why don't you go for her? He's like, man, she studies drama, okay? No, she's just weird, okay? And she's hyper. No. And he goes, now that we're out of high school, you're adults. Don't you think you should abandon such primitive constructs such as popularity? I love Dustin.
Yeah, he's
such
great.
a smart kid.
He's great.
Yep, we'll find out what happened to the lifeguards soon enough. Oh, Will. He gets his friends to play Dungeons and Dragons, but they're really not into it, and they keep talking about their girlfriends, and should we call them?
I identify with that. I mean, you did too. You were crying.
I just felt so bad for Will because they were really mean. And he just gets fed up and he's like, I'm going home. You guys don't care. Our group is over. And Mike is kind of harsh. It's like, it's not my fault you don't like girls. And then he's like, what'd you think? We're just going to sit in my basement and play forever? You didn't think we'd ever get girlfriends?
It's so sad though, because that's what happens. You grow up and
Turn into us.
drift apart, and then people get hooked on heroin, and then they die.
Elle and Max go to the lifeguard station trying to find out who the missing lifeguard is. They find out that her name is Heather. Then Elle goes into the showers and does a little sensory deprivation and has a vision of her, and it's not good.
No.
Help me!
And then she just gets sucked under. I do love her what do they call it when she goes?
Sensory deprivation.
No, sensory deprivation, but then when she's able to watch other people. I just like I like just the dark rooms
I do too.
and the water.
I like it a lot. Joyce and Hop are in the lab looking around, and Joyce has a flashback right away to Bob being killed.
Yeah, sad.
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I forgot how brutal it was.
I did too.
Oof.
I did too. And the camera is on, so they are being watched.
Dustin and Steve think that they have found an evil Russian. It's a guy who's a sort of a Fabio look-alike. They follow him with their binoculars right into his jazzercise class.
That was good.
That was really funny.
That was good.
He's like looking around. They're like, oh, following. And he's like, okay, feel the burn.
But then
good.
Dustin is just sort of... He's so confused.
I know. What are they doing?
And he's probably kind of turned on by those women and their spandex.
So Robin is taking a delivery to Scoops Ahoy from a company called Lynx Delivery. And it dawns on her, wait a minute, a lynx is a silver cat. She goes out into the mall. She's looking around and all the clues are falling into place.
So quick.
Tread lightly. A shoe store. I'll
China.
meet you in China. Imperial Chinese food court. When green meets yellow in the west. The clock. I cracked it. I cracked the code.
That was like very like transatlantic, old-fashioned move. I cracked the code. Say it again.
What?
I cracked it. I cracked the code.
I've cracked it. I've cracked the code.
That was good.
Nancy's back at the Hawkins post.
Oh.
Going to make the coffee. And a little rubber rat falls out.
I'm annoyed with her.
I am too, just because I think she told them too early and she keeps trying to prove herself to them. I'm like, Nancy, listen, play the long game and then you'll have your story. But
Exactly.
if you keep giving them everything you find, they're just going to mock you and
destroy it. They're
destroy you. And then when it actually becomes a story, take all the credit. It's just, isn't it weird that like nobody takes paranormal stuff seriously, even though we've seen now several years of crazy shit happening.
Yeah.
I would be on guard for every little thing, and the people at the newspaper are like, ho, 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 what next, a UFO? But you know what happened.
Same with Hop. He kind of...
Although Hop does explain, it's like he just wants everyone to move the fuck on.
Yes.
Hop is having a little talk with Joyce. He's all of a sudden he's having a sensitive moment. And he's like, I was here when they took this place apart. I was here when they filled everything with concrete. It's important to me that you feel safe in your home. And he reveals that he knows she's putting her house up for sale. And then they hear noises. Who's there? Do they know about the magnets?
Should I ask them?
Maybe I could show them. Then we'll know.
That's good.
Poor Will. This is so, so sad. He's in his cute little fort in the woods, looking at his pictures of him with his friends.
It's so horrible.
And I'm gonna cry. I can't help it. That was so cute. He starts telling himself, so stupid. You're so stupid. Ripping up the pictures. He takes a baseball bat and he's destroying his clubhouse.
It's so sad.
He's really traumatized. I think he feels like it's more than just the group falling apart. I think he feels like he's the one that got really screwed. Like
Left
they didn't have to
behind.
go to the upside down. Right. They're the ones that, all because of them. He feels like, he always forgave them. He never blamed them. And look how they're treating him.
Yeah.
The whole reason he did get sucked down there was that they forgot about it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Will, I would play Dungeons and Dragons with you.
I would too. I don't know how to play, but I would.
I would learn.
Oh, it's so sad. Everybody's just getting older too, People are just...
Children get older.
Oh, it was
I'm getting older too. I think that's the point. A lot of people watching this show have the 80s nostalgia. And then seeing the kids grow up, it's like, guess what? You grew up too.
Yeah, now we're dealing with like the battle of the sexes.
Nancy takes Jonathan to go talk to that old lady, Mrs. Driscoll, to see what's doing with the rat. You know, maybe we can take the rat and get a sample.
That's right, because they didn't know what happened to the rat.
They didn't know. And they don't get an answer. So Nancy's like, she could have fallen. Let's go in the house.
So they trespass.
They break in. Well, I guess it's a small town. They're like, we can go in.
And the door wasn't locked.
Now, at this point, hearing the noises coming out of the basement.
Oh, Dawn, stop.
It's pretty accurate.
That was... No, stop it, Martha.
Well, I would be out. If you came home and saw your 3 cats congregated.
Stop it. Oh my God, I'm going to have a dream.
I would be out. But no, they look. And what's going on? Mrs. Driscoll is eating a bag of fertilizer.
I mean, I knew that would be happening, right? I wasn't surprised, but...
No, I thought she was going to be dead and she was going to be being eaten by rats.
Oh.
We've confirmed that Lynx is a Russian front.
It sounds like Rachel Maddow.
Breaking news tonight. We've confirmed that Lynx is a Russian front.
Okay.
Tap the pencil.
Yeah.
Shuffle the papers around. Lynx is state-sponsored Russian propaganda.
And come back after the break.
Watch this space.
Watch this. That's what she says. Watch this space. I was trying to remember.
So yeah, they see that Lynx. They see the Russians. Yet.
Those are some. That was a good casting call with that bald one, that scary bald one.
I feel discriminatory. I'm sorry to any Russian Americans. I'm sorry, Russian American. Any Russians. I know Russians are bad people.
I mean, yeah, I feel bad.
It's constant, just constantly
and
being maligned.
I make really inappropriate jokes to a friend of mine who's Russian, like, "Oh, you spy? You spying on me?" And she laughs, but I know it annoys her.
It's not nice. It's just that there was a lot of Russia scare going on at this time, and it's happening again. All right. So Hopper goes to investigate the noise in the lab, and it turns into him, speaking of evil Russians, getting his ass kicked by a Russian.
The guy in the ball.
Brutally. Like, poof, head slamming, knocked out. I'm worried about him.
I am too. I think he'll be okay.
I think so. All right.
What?
I think Hop's going to get it.
But not now. Can't you just get through this season?
Maybe.
What do you know?
I don't know anything. I just know that people have been posting things.
Yeah, so you do know something.
I don't know what happens.
Like R.I.P.
But I saw tons of stuff about him having a dad bod. You know, nothing specific. No, I didn't see R.I.P.
You gotta get off social media, you kids.
We have this little E.T. ride with Elle and Max to Heather's house. And it turns out that, follow us, Heather's dad is Nancy's boss from the Hawkins Post. It all comes full circle. And it's a very weird dinner. And fake Billy, evil Billy, is sitting at the table like, well, hello.
Yeah.
And then Heather comes out. And Heather is gone. May I offer you some fresh cookies?
It's very like Rosemary Baby meets Stepford Wives.
I think it's heavily David Lynch inspired.
Yeah, that's what you
especially
said.
The way it's very Twin Peaks. The way that the father looks is like Leland Palmer. For those of you who know Twin Peaks, major Twin Peaks vibes. Like the whole like dysfunctional family thing. The mom is drugged. The daughter's gonna get killed. It's like there's something. They definitely were paying tribute to David Lynch there. Oh my God. And then Elle and Max leave. And Billy's like, well, before that, he's like, what was your name again?
Oh.
Elle. And his eye is like that eye of that evil thing she was closing. It knows her now.
It knows her. He's the monster. He is it. Or the fake Billy.
So then Will, his friends catch up with him. They're like, what happened, Will, what's wrong? And he just goes, he's back. Well, we figured that out.
Yeah.
And then things get very violent and even more Lynchian in Heather's house. So Mom passes out. She's been drugged. And then the father goes to tend to her. The daughter takes a bottle, bashes her father over the head, and then goes, sorry, Daddy, it'll only be a moment, and gives him one of those like chloroform things, rags.
You tried to do that once to me.
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. All right, we have stayed up.
It's 3.
We're going to take a break, but we'll be back, and we'll be binging the rest of this, and it's really good.
And I'll be awake.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.